We learned the percent proportion. We just said it. A over B equals P over 100. Well, you're going to see the same types of problems in today's lesson. Same types of problems. And guess what? You could use percent proportion on every single one of them and solve. Today, I'm teaching you a different method. You may prefer proportions after today's lesson. You may prefer the percent equation. The good news is on your quiz and test, you're able to choose. The bad news is, on tonight's homework, you're not. You have to use the percent equation to solve these problems. So what is the percent equation? It's A equals P percent times B. But can we agree that we know that P stands for percent? Can you agree that when you see P, it stands for percent? Can we just leave the percent sign off? Okay, so this is what we're going to use as our original problem. A equals P times B. A equals P times B. All right, so let's use it. A equals P times B. Let's look at the first percent problem. It says, what number is 20% of 110? Well, one of the main things you have to know about this lesson is that in this formula, A equals P times B, P is not being divided by 100 like it is in our proportion. You guys remember that? See, in our proportion, it was A over B equals P over 100, right? We divided the percent by 100. Well, in the percent equation, I'm not doing that. And because I'm not doing that, I have to change my percent to a decimal before I plug it in. So 20% is what value as a decimal? I'm dividing, so I move it to the left 2 places. 20% is going to be 0.2. That's what I plug in for P. So I see my percentage and I plug it in as a decimal. Okay, 0.2, okay, times B, 110. And then my A. I know that 110 is my B because 110 is my B because that's my of value. And I know I plug in that number for B when I see the of. All right, and now I just multiply my calculator. 0.2 times 110. And what do I get? 22. You think you can make a substitution? All right, try the second one. All right, so what number is, I don't know A. What did you plug in for P? 0.29 times 88. What did you get for your answer? Very good. All right, have you done number 3 yet? Okay, so A equals what? What did you plug in for P? 0.15 times 200. And A equals 30. A equals 30. All right, so that's example 1. Example 2, I'm just solving for a different part of the same percent equation. So now I have 50 is what percent of 250? What am I solving for? What am I solving for? Percent. I don't know my percent now. I start with my original formula, A equals P times B. Now I have to figure out which number is my A value. No, come on. Which number is my A value? 50. Okay, thank you for answering that question. All right, 50 is my A value. I don't know P, and what's my B value? 250. But let me ask you this, is that how you're supposed to write it algebraically?
No.
250p. Okay, so you don't even have to write it like that. Go ahead and in your mind just switch it. 50 equals 250p. All right, that's just how I want you to set it up. All right, so 50 equals 250p. Now here's where you just have to really pay attention. What number is connected to my variable? I just circled it. 250. So that whatever's connected to my P is what I have to divide both sides by. All right, calculators out. What's 50 divided by 250?
3.
What's 50 divided by 250? 0.2. But is that answer a percentage?
No.
How do I change a decimal to a percent? 20%. All right, so on these, your calculator gives you the decimal, and then you have to change it to a percentage for your answer. All right, I want you to try your substitutions for the second one. Okay, so 36 equals 75p. Who got it? 36 equals 75p. What do you divide both sides by? 75. P equals 0.48, but is that my answer? No, what did I get? 48%. Who got 48%? Raise your hands if you got 48%. Malcolm, no, you didn't get it. All right, do you see where you went wrong? Xander? Loza? Okay, so everybody get the third one right now. What percent of 300 is 51? All right, what percent of 300 is 51? What percent of 300 is 51? What's my A value? 51. 300 is my B value. What do I divide both sides by? 300. Did you get 17%? Yes. Who got it? Who got it? 17%. Good. More. Okay, good. All right, 17%. Now in example 3, again, just more problems, and I'm just solving for a different part. Now 130 is 65% of what number? Again, if you see this percentage, what has to happen to your percentage before you can plug it in? Change it to a decimal. Okay, so A equals P times B. All right, now make your substitutions. Don't forget to change your percent to a decimal. All right, so what goes in for A? 130. Come on, guys. What goes in for P?
65.
0.65. 0.65. B. Do I need a dot in between or parentheses or anything? No, we just write it. 0.65B. Divide both sides by 0.65. B equals 200. B equals 200. All right, now what about the second one? 8 is 32% of what number? All right, solve that one. So 8 goes in for what? A. 0.32. B. What did you get for number 2?
25.
B equals 25. Very good. I divide both sides by 0.32. What about the third one? What do I plug in for A? 45. What do I plug in for P? 0.9. What do I divide both sides by? 0.9. 50?
Yes.
Did you get 50, or maybe you just weren't quite done?
I didn't.
Weren't quite done, but you were on the right track?
Yeah.
On the right track? Okay, very good. All right, now in example 4, it's not as clear cut. What's my A value? What's my P value? What's my B value? I have to read. Yeah, I know. Bummer. We got to read. Okay? Somebody read me the first word problem. Somebody read it to me. Xander.
A shoe salesperson sells a pair of shoes for $125. The salesperson receives a 9% commission on the sale. How much is the commission?
All right, perfect. Okay, so I start with my formula, A equals P times B. Which value is like super obvious? 9%. That goes in for P, right? But what do I plug it in as? Do I plug it in as 9? 0.09. Now I have to figure out this $125. Is that my total amount, my total cost, or is it my commission? Remember, a commission is a part of the sale, right? That's, you make a certain amount off of the total. So what do you think? 125 total or commission? What do you think? Yeah, it's the total. So A equals, how would I plug it in? What's my P value? 0.09 times what? 125. Whatever that number is, that's my commission. So that motivates me to what? Sell maybe an expensive pair of shoes. I make more commission, or you know, maybe instead of selling an expensive shoe, I want to sell lots and lots of shoes, right? So we go for volume. A lot of companies, that's their strategy, is they don't try to make the biggest margin on one item. They try to sell a lot of them and make a lower margin, but then they end up making more money. All right, so what's my commission? $11.25. And then just label it commission. You could do it COMM. commission.
So the person that sold that pair of shoes got $11?
Yeah, so like let's say that they make, usually employees on commission don't make minimum wage. They make like $5 an hour. So let's say they make $5 an hour and they sell a pair of shoes. Well, they just made $16 that hour. That's not bad money. So you sell one pair of shoes per hour, you can make decent money. What if you sold 2 pairs of shoes per hour? Now you're in business.
$50 in 10 hours?
Could be. Yeah. No, $50 in 10 hours. No, if you sold 1 pair of shoes each hour for 8 hours, you make $88 that day.
Dude.
Is that a lot?
In commission, on top of your hourly, it could be. All right, go ahead and solve the second one for the art gallery example. Solve the second one now. All right, so A equals P times B again. My percentage is 0.15 times 575. They made a decent commission, in one day, I guess. I mean, $575, that's a lot of sales. All right, so that's how to find commission, guys. Hopefully that makes sense. And that's everything you need to know for 9.4.